Hong Kong on this opening night of the three-day great weekend. And this is the first game in Pool E. 24 countries here, of course, and 6 pools of 4. And this is the team of the moment, South Africa, who were the champions of Las Vegas last month. And they are playing Spain, who were last here in Hong Kong, well, before the IRB series started. That was 1998. And this is their first appearance of this season in the World Series. And South Africa have had it all their own way so far against Spain in their 3 matches. And it's a very strong side that did so well. Inspired by Central Africa in Las Vegas. The captain, Kyle Brown, the man who does so much great work up front is Frankie Horn. But it's that combination of Central Africa, inspired he was with the combination of Branco Dupré. And watch out too for the new boy, the youngster of this new season, Paul Jordan. Spain side, well, very much unknown. 3 new players we've only seen before in Blanco, Negrillo and Poggi. And all these players, well, they're nearly all part of the 15-a-side Spanish team. Just 4 remain from their last tournament a couple of years ago in Edinburgh. So don't expect a major upset, but be very interesting to see how Spain cope here, their first time in the IRB 7 series. Referee is someone who's becoming a regular on the 7's World Series, David Borchevsky from Canada. Well, we saw a great team performance in Las Vegas, Willie. South Africa are clearly desperate to get their first ever title in Hong Kong.
Hard to believe, isn't it, Nigel, that they have been unsuccessful in Hong Kong for that period of time. Geez, they looked impressive in Las Vegas, and I'm sure that they'll be wanting to build on that. Plenty of confidence.
Got 8 from that cup-winning side, but only 5 from Hong Kong a year ago. And just 1 new player in their squad in Tsotso Mbovani, another 18-year-old that Paul True, the coach, is blooding here. And that's his aim, to try and get the new talent that he's building up for the qualifying rounds that will come with the World Championship in Moscow. But a lively start by Spain here, set up by Martin Heredia. He's played in the IRB 7s before. And it's a very good opening here. Most of their players are sort of, well, scattered actually. They're not mainly based in Spain, but some playing in France, others in Ireland. Other player lives in Fiji. And away now with Heredia. Oh, good handoff. And they're really taking this game full frontal to Spain here, to South Africa. And this could be a try in the corner. It looks as though he's over. Carlos Blanco, the new man. And what a start. Well, he was born in Sydney. He actually does play in Spain. But a brilliant start by the Spanish newcomers here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, out of the top draw, Nigel. This is how 7s should be played. And look at that, the South Africans rattled right from the start. Carlos Blanco on debut. Lovely low dive. Spanish father, a Māori mother, New Zealander, and the 26-year-old, well, his first cap at 15s as well, and he's returned to his father's homeland, plays for Vijo University. What a moment.
Well, that was a try to remember. The conversion is missed, but it was just a superb build-up from the start. The positive attitude, the anything but overawed, and rounded off by this 26-year-old making his debut in the Spanish 7 squad. And Paul True must be thinking, we've got a game on here.
Well, they're being coached, the Spanish team, by Jose Inchosti. He's born in Madrid, 15 caps, 15 aside, played in the Rugby World Cup, and he also played at the Mar del Plata sure you were commentating in 2001 World Cup, Nigel.
He was a fine player. Well, the man who made a big impact there, I thought, twice in that move was Martin Heredia, who, like 7 of this squad, has played regularly for the Spanish 15-a-side team. And South Africa, well, sometimes you, in your opening game, you sort of below par, you don't get into action, but they need to now. South Africa, who were in brilliant form, and almost a surprise win in Las Vegas that was unheralded after England and New Zealand had won the previous tournaments. Twice New Zealand, once England, but suddenly South Africa came. Remember, they were the overall champions 2008-2009. Ball in the hands of this wily Lavino here. It's very elusive. But first time of possession for South Africa. And we saw how Australia put their marker down. Set up there was by Bernardo Botha. This is the brilliant Cecil Africa into the hands of Kyle Brown, the captain. Good offload, Frankie Horn has been a mainstay of their side. Africa again, the switch is to Paul Jordan, but away come on the breakdown, Spain again. Covering back, Blanco Dupria with those rather distinctive boots. Well, if you play well, it's fine. If not, you want to hide a little, and you don't with pink boots. Frankie Horn. A penalty here against Frankie Horn.
Yeah, he can't play the ball on the ground. Clearly he had his knees down, which is deemed as being tackled. I'm not sure whether Negrilo, well, that was the right option either. Nigel, from the turnover, the big number 8 for Spain, putting his boot to it.
Very comfortable with the ball in hand, but the breakdown there, poor pop pass. Nice option here by Paul Jordan. He's quick. This is the 18-year-old I've been talking about. Came straight out of starring in the South African schools squad. Signed up as a youngster, still at school last year for Paul True's squad.
Well, interesting reading the bio on him as well, where he says his favourite player is Dan Carter. Says he wants to be like him in 10 years. Tell you what, little tricks like that may be better than Carter in 10 years. Wonderful initiative. You could see that there was no sweeper in behind for Spain. And just the way that he rubber kicked it as well. Rugby ball, strange shape, and just look at the way that it bounces up. That's what you've got to do, is just wait for it to bounce up. It will bounce up at a certain time, certain number of revolutions. He counted it correctly. Geez, I'd love to see him in full flight.
He's certainly impressed. Came in as a new boy in Wellington and Las Vegas, the last 2 tournaments. Scored 4 tries then, gets his opener here in Hong Kong. Blanco Dupria to Cecil Africa. Sees there are a few players on his right, goes left to Kyle Brown. Oh, he slips easily through the tackle, poor defence there. And the offload is to Blanco Dupria, who skips out of the final tackle attempt and puts South Africa where they feel they should be, ahead again.
Well, he gets the reward, does Dupria in this number 7, but captain courageous Kyle Brown, he needs to be mentioned on this, because he's the man that went through the 2 players and put his hands out in front of them and threw the ball back. Beautiful piece of rugby.
Do you ever wear them like that?
They have red boots when you were playing, Nigel?
No, I asked you.
I was never quick enough to have red boots.
Well, Tonga, of course, you had red boots because you played in red. No, I didn't. I had leather ones, which were brown and put with dubbing on them. And here you go.
There's that pass I was talking about. Just getting in between the 2 players. Good effort here from Spain as well. Fejo, Pablo Fejo, number 4, trying to stop Dupria, but couldn't.
It was late in my career that these lightweight ones came in, and I realised that all my problems in life had been that my boots had been too heavy. These light ones, I was so quick. Here comes Spain. This is Marcus Poggi. He's one of the three new boys, and Jordan's away again. Jordan got men inside, should have offloaded sooner and then tried it, and it was useless to Chris Dry, and back comes Spain. Bad luck. Just too forward to Negrijo. But they are quick and lively and are going to be a very interesting team in this Pool B. South Africa, Wales and Hong Kong, the other three in Pool E. As the half-time whistle goes, and South Africa lead, but they can't sit back.
No podemos los revolver, trabajamos los laterales, hacemos lo que sabemos que tenemos que hacer, y en la primera fase de eso se puede y al final trabajar los laterales por confianza en el rango. Tenemos que llegar un poco antes al rango, nos están puseando, hay que trabajar cortes, Martino, asistente.
They clear the sit down in the second half. Just get out, go in to our goal, and the boys in the border and put them away. Alright. They're giving it all away. Too much stuff getting made.
6 wins. Of course. None more impressive than their last one in Las Vegas when they beat Fiji in the final, England in the semi-final, Australia before that. Be it in their pool round they drew with Samoa. What do you think of Australia in their opener?
Well, they looked impressive against Zimbabwe. They got a lot of the 50-50 calls went their way, but they are a dangerous side. And Michael O'Connor actually having a core group of players that he's been working with the last few years now.
Because I thought Zimbabwe would give them a tighter game than that, but they couldn't win the ball, could they? But not the case here with Spain, who've had, I think, 50% of the possession.
Yeah, I think the South Africans as well. Okay, it is the first game of 3 days. Just at times, the wrong option, Nigel, going perhaps a metre too far, as opposed to passing to somebody in a better position.
Well, they were determined to make an impact here on their return to Hong Kong. They last played here in 1998. None of these players, of course. But it's an important return for them as they get into the into the top level of World Sevens rugby.
Wasn't it brilliant when we turned up watching the kids actually play out on the field, and many of them now in the stands?
Marvellous. It's one of the things I love about the Hong Kong Sevens is the encouragement that's given to thousands of kids. Just a worrying moment. I just watched as the second half restarted, and Paul Jordan has limped off, actually. Well, we saw his impact early on with that superb try, but he's taken a bad knock and is being attended on the bench for that leg injury. 12-5 is the score to South Africa. They're settling into the groove perhaps now. Frankie Horn's the man to do that. Nice switch with Paul Delport there, who's come back. Player who was determined to retire. Now look at the pace here of Branco Dupria. Superb tackle coming in though. I think that was Ignacio Martin. No, it was Gomez. And here's Kyle Brown. Frankie Horn takes a lot of stopping. The tackle coming in from Poggi. And the support is Paul Delport. Player who got injured in Wellington. So missed out on the Las Vegas triumph, but back with a vengeance and with a smile.
Yeah, we're just going to see the last parts of it, but it was Chris Dry who actually got across, and the work being done by South Africa, the clean out in particular. This is the last part. You see that the gap was there in between the players and the referee, and Paul Delport knew his way to the try line. That's South Africa's third.
Comfort zone at last for them. They'll breathe a little more easily. 17 points to 5. Paul Delport with his 20th try in the IRB Sevens, and South Africa, well, not just a great attacking player with ball in hand, but a fine drop goal specialist he's become. That was his 76th to add to his 48 tries. There's Paul Jordan getting some ice pack work on that thigh. Maybe just a hematoma type of thing. Clearly on the top of the thigh, not underneath, so no dangers by the look of it of hamstring trouble. Frankie Horn sweeps it back to Paul Delport. Delport wide to Chris Dry. Does a lot of unsung work here. Nice and good backhand offload to Frankie Horn. This is Dry again. Well, he's dumped there, but the penalty offside against Spain quickly taken. Delport. Good bit of work by Ignacio Martin. The referee says you went 10 metres back, so South Africa get another chance. Bang on the nose by the look of it for Kyle Brown.
Yeah, I think it's contact lens.
It's contact lenses.
There you go.
Done a good captaincy job since taking over that role. So here's Chris Dry, product of great rugby nursery, Grey College in Bloemfontein. Now to Delport, uses Kyle Brown as a decoy. Pass didn't work though, but away goes Africa. The little push off the defender, which was Ignacio Martin, got him away.
Well, the 23-year-old, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and the architect of their success in Las Vegas. Talking with Paul True a couple of days ago, he said every team has one, and Cecil Africa is the glue. He's their go-to guy, and look at that. Evades the tackle of Pedro Martin. The pace to bring it around for a better angle.
Adds the points, and that's his 49th try, and puts South Africa comfortably ahead now after the early onslaught from Spain. But it's all about possession, and they've dominated. And well, he scored 17 in the first couple of tournaments, and then got a very bad injury, broke his jaw, and made a remarkable return much earlier than expected to Las Vegas, and then played like a genius. So Spain with some possession now. Martin. This is Blanco. Made that big impact early on. A good drive by Pablo Feijó. Once more, Ignacio Martin. Well-timed tackle on Carlos Blanco. The pick-up by Feijó, their most experienced player. 8 previous tournaments. Away by Blanco. Up the middle comes Lavino. Well, they've certainly got no shortage of pace here. Juan Cano. Cano and Martin. Good cover. Into the hoardings.
Well, I don't think the scoreline actually indicates the effort from Spain. First to score in this match, and they've just been denied possession by a very good South African side. But when they do have ball in hand, showing the skills of sevens, Nigel, one side to the other, and plenty of pace.
Pace across the board.
Kyle Brown just getting some running repairs. That's why South Africa have decided to go to the line out.
Yeah. Well, this time it's not his lenses. It's maybe a cut on the head here. He's holding some tissue to cotton wool to where he may have got a cut on the forehead. This is the captain for South Africa. The second one, of course, with Paul Jordan also getting treatment. So looks like a nasty cut on the head. So Frankie Horn may come back on by the look of it. So back to 7.
Not a bad replacement to bring back on, is it, Frankie Horn? Goodness me.
No, he's been tremendous. He's player of the year for South Africa in that season when they won the Champions title, when they won the Cups in Dubai and George and Adelaide, and were runners-up here in Hong Kong and Edinburgh. It was an extraordinary season, triumphal season, but they've never won here. But they're in the form to do so, barring injury troubles that might come. Delport trying to work that pass around the defending Spaniards. Africa from Branco de Pria. These two played so well as a partnership out wide, nicely tipped on by Branco de Pria under pressure, but look at the feisty attitude of the Spaniards here, really creating trouble. Pressure on South Africa all the time. But a breakaway here with Chris Dry. Will they need him with support? No, he can go on his own, just shows and goes, and finally offloads generously and makes it try 50 for South Africa.
Try for South Africa, wonderful. Chris Dry doing all the hard work, and then he threw the ball just over the top. Look at this. It was good play, actually. He pointed, and then he went through the gap. Spaniards have been tenacious in defence. This shouldn't be done. It won't be done in the final, I can tell you that. They wouldn't be throwing these sorts of passes. But right there, over to South Africa, try number 50, and South Africa's 5th of the match.
Well, South Africa in the end with a big score of 33 points to 5, but don't underestimate the quality of the new boys here, Spain, who really made quite an impression.